Morning, everybody. It's Sir Drinks a Lot, and you've tuned in to a Lap It Up, my drink review series. Trying to stay awake. Early mornings, trying to get that energy up and get going. It's been a fun day. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. We got election bills dropping by a very short margin. That's just not. I'm not going to be political, but like when you get one side that kind of finally takes control, or at least gets their figurehead, or their flag up the mast, it really is. Everyone's like, yes, finally, we can get some shit done. And they get some things done, but they're always minor. And it's always undermined by the other side to the point where it takes so much longer to get shit done. And they act like everything that they do is permanent. They act like every single bill or law that or amendment they try to enact can't be reversed or taken or taken back, because it does. It gets dropped. It gets canceled. It gets presidential executive ordered to, or the court goes, when you try to do this, we're going to say no. So I hear so much about somebody saying, well, when they take away freedoms, we don't get them back again. There's so many bills that people complain will be taking away freedoms that passed, but then the Supreme Court said no, and so that didn't pass, even after everybody said it'd pass, and it would be law, or the next seated president signs an end to it, it's so frustrating but then again, one of the things that, one of the things that I've always said, and it may not be 100% true, but we have a government, and they talk about the government being full of checks and balances. And the thing is just that, like, those checks and balances don't happen immediately. Those checks and balances could happen a couple of years later. So if you think you're getting something, because who wouldn't want to be the one to uncover somebody, some senator, using money for other profit, or somebody signing a bill but noticing that they were part of this group or something, and it's kind of crazy. But anyway, however, guys, as I'm doing, today's drink of choice is a morning pick me up wild berry from Celsius. Yes, you're looking at one container, which is 10 calories. Oh man, there's vitamin C, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, biotin. Oh man, sodium is 0 grams. Carbs are 2 grams. It's good stuff. But yeah, no, it's one of those things that I was talking about. It's frustrating, but then again, it's like we got snitches, and it's kind of how that works when you're in that kind of environment. When you yell at your interns and cause a situation where there's some drama, at some point that's going to come out, Oh, That's a bit rough. Maybe it's just rough on my senses. But it's like a coffee berry. I know that sounds weird to say, but it's like a... At first, I thought I was drinking like some kind of a coffee. Is that an orb? I played too much Phasmo. Right at first, it has that funky coffee flavor, and that's berries. It's not really that great. I mean, there's a sweetness. Like when you first drink, it's like a wall of blah. Yeah, this is definitely not one of my favorites. I can say that the shadow of a doubt. Let's see. It's one of those things like, hey, as soon as you go into the public life, stuff starts coming up because people start digging in to find things that you could have done. Oh, so and so was a bully in high school, you know. And then the cancel culture, or the. This is what worries me, is that when actors or comedians get accused of sexual misconduct, and they go and they have people that go in immediately to find out, hey, is this true? Honestly, I don't want to side with the assholes, but sometimes some people have to be put, like, the penalty for that kind of mindset needs to be expressed. And I think what sucks is that it ends up hurting or killing a show. And though I think with good writing, you can write around a lot of things depending on the show. But like if it's like the lead, that's gonna be a little difficult. I think though that a company has the right to, if they have dug up enough evidence, if they feel that it's warranted, they have to fire you. They have the right to fire you. The government can't protect people from having, you know, a company's paid employee act a fool and get fired. You can't. I mean, but I think that certain things are a bit ridiculous for firing purposes. I think that if you have a tweet from 10 years ago, you could have been in a completely different mindset. You could have, and also probably had gotten educated since then. I would hope, because 10 years is a long way to go. 12 years, 20 years down the line. If you did a massively insensitive tweet, or you were trying to be kind of one of the edgelords, you know, or a shock jock in a way, and talking about shit that would normally like make your mother blanch, you know, I don't think that that you should be penalized for that. I really don't. If your mentality shows and your social interactions and your interactions with people show that you haven't changed, then yes, of course. You know, if you're still doing those kind of things, yes. But if it's like actually not sure how old tweets are, but if you have messages online that say that, or text messages of you attacking somebody, and they're not warranted. I mean, like, there's not like an argument. You go between an argument between two people, you can say some really, really harsh shit. And I don't think that's always. I think that personal communications between two people as long as they don't divulge certain things, like, I don't know, like, I was doing their personal stuff, you know, or to say, like, I cheated on a test or something. I mean, like, you know, and I got those answers off of so-and-so's, whatever, you know, and I don't get those answers from anybody. Those things right there are kind of the things that should be taken into account, and like, okay, your character is pretty shit. But then again, I think even some of the nicest people, if you get them on the wrong day, you could see a very ugly side of them. It's one of the things I've always said is, in an argument, the boundaries are difficult, and you have to be careful when you get into an argument, because you will end up saying some shit that is just like, one, it was not for you to say, because you will go after the person in the most ridiculous way. But I think that if you made some edgy comments, some very disgusting comments, even back like 10 or 12 years ago, that those should not, especially when you've been in a show for like 2-3 seasons, and then all of a sudden these pop up and you get fired for them. I don't agree with that. But in the end, it is the individual companies, you know, they can do it, whatever they want. It's just it'll be hard to write out, I can see, as a writer. And it's also not who the person is now, but, you know, it also frees them up to do other things, and they've done something really awesome. They should be happy with what they've been able to do, and hopefully they can move forward and show that they can do better. It's just a shame that that kind of thing happens. I don't know. It's something that's been coming up recently with a lot of things, but I think that a lot of times the newer ones anyway have been ones where it's been happening. It's a recent thing, and these people need to grow up, and they need to quit doing the shit they're doing, because we're fucking adults, and treating people like trash is only going to come back to you now. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. Sadly, sometimes the Karens win in the world, and sometimes people will take what you say out of context. You know, so you have to be careful what you say, because it's the same, like I said, in politics. You know, the more, like, when people dig into your emails and they find out that you're doing these things, that gets used against you, and to write. But then again, somebody could blatantly say, I was doing this to ruin so-and-so, and no other reason whatsoever, just specifically ruin this person. And like a year later, nobody cares. I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of what this wild berry has done to me. Has a funky taste. Has the berry. And then I went back to it. No, this gets a 1 and a 3. It's one of the lower ones that I've had. I don't like the flavor. I don't. I don't even think I'll finish this. This gets a 1 on the 5 scale. But I give it a 3 on the 10. Maybe somebody would like it. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that you're surviving. I hope that you're all watching your P's and Q's, but able to express yourself as best you can. Anyway, as always, I'm wishing you health, wealth, and love with enough time and gusto to enjoy it all down to the last drop. I think I got it right. I'm in a hurry. Anyway, y'all take care. I love you guys. Catch you in the next one.